Sam, this book is so sweet and so fun. You did such a good job on it.
I've got one too.
Nice. Oh,
Thank you so much for jumping on and reading it. I know it's a long read. It must have taken you hours, days.
oh yeah, days. What was the inspiration behind Smiley Day? Why did you want to write this book?
Well, a big part of um, Fresh Cut Grass was he wanted to give advice to people, and well, he didn't get a chance to for very long because he perished in a ball of flames. So I wanted a little bit more advice to be free in the world. But no, seriously, I remember reading books like this to my kids when they were a little bit younger, and it was always so hard to find books that they loved and that I loved and that had good messages, but also had really good art. And some of my favorite books are, like the Mo Willems books, the Pigeon books. And I just wanted to give another option to parents out there to read to their kids and maybe uh, softly introduce them to the wonders of Critical Role and role playing games.
It kind of reminded me of there's a monster at the end of this book,
Sure.
which I was very
Yeah.
excited for because I got that for my friend's son a couple years ago when he had him. So I was very excited and immediately sent him a picture of the book and was like, "We're reading this to your kid."
Yep. Yeah. That book is was one of my favorites. All the Mo Willems books. There was a book called, oh shoot, what is it? B.J. Novak wrote a children's book called the Book with No Pictures that I really liked a lot. Yeah, any book where the main character sort of breaks the fourth wall of the book is always fun to me. And so we worked with the artist a lot to try to figure out, Fresh Cut Grass keeps talking about the page numbers and the length of the book, and it's very self aware. And I've always loved books like that and wanted to do one myself.
It's so fun. Do you have a favorite piece of advice that Fresh Cut Grass gives in this book?
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't get to give a lot in the book because keeps getting interrupted. But especially early on in campaign three, he was spouting off kind of nonsensical advice, which I really liked coming up with. There's a couple of those in the book, like truth is like engine oil; it might taste bitter, but you got to drink it. That
Yep.
doesn't mean anything, but kind of it does.
Yep.
It's like if you think about it long enough, it kind of makes sense. And But I think the main message of the book was one that is it's important for all of us, which is just in this age of always being aware of other people's feelings and always making sure that everyone is acknowledged and appreciated. Sometimes you got to make sure that you are in a good headspace too, and I don't think that's a selfish thing. I think that's just all of us need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves as much as we're looking out for other people. And it's like they say in airplanes. Make sure your mask is tightly fitted around your mouth before you turn to help other people. Because if you aren't taking care of yourself, then you're really no good to anybody.
A very important lesson that I think more people could stand to learn.
Hmm.
What was your favorite part about revisiting FCG? And is this a character you would like to revisit, maybe even in a novel setting or a comic book that's more adult focused?
Yeah, Fresh Cut Grass has a is endlessly interesting to me because they never really learned who they were, and that was their main goal in Critical Role, and in general, it was just to figure out who they are, how they belong, and what their purpose is. And I think in telling their story in our Critical Role show, Fresh Cut Grass realized that maybe they don't need an official purpose, and maybe they don't need to know exactly who they are. That none of us really know those things. That just doing their best is probably good enough, and that's all we can hope for. Um, but that said, there's still a lot of mysteries about fresh cut grass, their origins, what would have happened to them had they been able to continue on, and I would love to explore more of those things in other media for sure.
And then you did
Uh
a really good job of capturing the other members of Bell's Hells. Was that in part because you've been doing that with like Legendbox Machina and Mighty Nine as a writer and producer, or was it just that you were so kind of in that headspace when you were writing it?
We were still playing campaign three when we wrote the book, so it was pretty fresh in my head. But yes, I've gotten pretty good at adapting characters from our campaigns into other things. Between Legend of Vox Machina, Mighty Nine, this book, and then we have graphic novels that we've put out that I've weighed in on, and short stories and novels and all sorts of stuff. I think all of us at Critical Role are pretty good at channeling sort of like um, the the quick summary of each character and how their voices sound and how they would interact in other different situations. Yeah, we're experts at it now. But it's really easy when your friends make such great characters.
And then the art in this book is fantastic. I love how expressive it is, especially FCG, who is a robot, so you would think that would be difficult. Can you talk about collaborating with the artist on this book?
Yeah, Thorn L. Knight did the artwork for the book, and it was a pretty easy collaboration. All of Thorn's first drafts were pretty much it. The only tricky parts were figuring out again like how to draw the pages within pages. And there's a part, no spoilers, where Fresh Cut Grass has a bit of an emotional breakdown, and I really wanted it to look like the pages were completely ripped up. In fact, we talked to the publisher about, is there a way to rip the pages in the book that gets sent out? And they said, no, that's not possible. um, uh, that would require someone opening each book and hand ripping each version. But what we settled on instead was an artistic rendering of tire marks and burn marks and stuff, and it worked out really great. Thorn was fantastic. Had a real love for all these characters and drew a very expressive robot. I was worried that with a metal face you don't get to do much emoting, but
Yeah.
Thorn found a way to really make it very expressive.
And then you've played so many amazing characters across the span of Critical Role. And we have like not or Vet's origin story. We have some Scanlan in the Vox Machina origins, but this is the first time you've written a book about one of the characters. Is there another character that you have played that you would like to write like another adventure for them or some backstory
Oh,
you haven't gotten into?
that's a great question. Uh, a character that I've played, or just any character. I think Tyrion Darrington has the Adventures of the of the Darrington Brigade. I've always been interested in fleshing out more. I
Yeah.
feel like he's such a fun, dopey character that and his brigade is filled with such wild characters as well. I feel like that is ripe for more storytelling. Um, and actually next week, no spoilers, we're talking about something regarding Breas, the character I played at the end of campaign three. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Reyes cracks me up. That's my mom's favorite character because she's
Oh
come to
yeah,
live shows and she goes, "That's my favorite" because she was at the Greek, so she's claimed Reyes as her.
that's amazing.
Um, did this writing this book make you want to maybe explore more Bell's Hells adventures outside of what we saw in the campaign?
Sure. I mean, Bell's Hell's campaign was we've talked about different ways of adapting it into other media. It's a hard one because not only does it involve Bell's Hells, but it involves Vox Machina, it involves Mighty Nine, it involves a moon, um, and it's tricky. And also the characters are so wild and different from each other. But yeah, for sure, we're planning all sorts of different spin-offs and examinations of those characters and what they were doing before, what they were doing after. You have not seen the last of Bell's Hells for sure.
Oh, I'm so glad. They are nuts in the best way.
They are.
Um, and then not a spoilery question. I think what I'm curious about is maybe you like on the same level as almost Matt have really lived in this world in a creative space differently than some of the other players because you've not only played in Exandria for like over 10 years, but you've now written this book, but you've also been a writer and executive producer actively working on Legend of Vox Machina and Mighty Nine. What are you excited about playing in a world that's not Exandria for the first time?
Oh, for campaign four?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been living with the world of Exandria for over a decade now, and um, it's endlessly interesting. There's still so many parts of it that we have not explored. And I don't want to leave Exandria, and we're not going to leave Exandria. That said, playing with Matt Mercer and these friends, Critical Role, that was my first ever D&D campaign. I have only ever played D&D in Exandria in my entire life. And so I don't know what it's like to play a campaign in another world. I've just never done it. I've never even played the modules that are offered by Wizards of the Coast. Um, so so embarking on campaign four, at least for me, will be a brand new experience, and I have no idea what to expect. But I'm so here for it. Yeah, I can't wait to dive in.
Can we expect more sparks of ideas for stuff outside the campaign from this for you?
We've already started recording campaign four, and I can already tell you that there's some really great lore. The world is completely fleshed out. Brennan did a fantastic job, and the characters are fascinating, both visually and their backstories and stuff. So we aren't deep enough into it to know how we would do that. But of course, we're always looking for opportunities to turn our worlds into other stories. I think that's what Critical Role sort of exists for, is to create worlds and let the stories sort of spill out of them organically and in all sorts of different media. And I'm excited to add Araman to the list.
That's genuinely one of my favorite parts of Critical Role is that we have not only the main campaign, but the books and the comics and then the animated shows. It's just so much fun to me to get to explore this world and these characters in all these different mediums because you get so many different experiences as a like fan from the different mediums.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it this morning actually, that we've had music albums and romance novels and comic books and live theater shows and animated series, and it's wild, the types of stories and the types of moments that we've had with these characters in this world. And yeah, I hope it keeps going forever.
I love it. And then last question for you. One of the things I thought was very cool was both you and Liam have now written books set in this world of Exandria, but they're both books that are to a degree for family or for kids to enjoy in a way that is maybe not quite the main campaign style. Why do you think you guys are both kind of wanting to have stories to share with families that are a little bit more kid friendly?
Well, he and I are parents. We both have two kids each, and I think um, Laura and Travis also have a kid, but he is only just now getting to the age where he can start playing role playing games.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas our kids are a little bit older, and we've been playing D&D and Daggerheart and other stuff with them for years now, and there's nothing like connecting with your kids and your family over a TTRPG. Um, it's so fun to watch them imagine things and bring them to life. And I think that's an experience that that Liam and I especially want to share with everybody. There's a lot of critters out there who started watching our show when they were maybe in college, and now they're older and they have their kids of their own, and we want them to have that same experience and that same thrill of sharing imagination with their kids.
Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. The book is fantastic. I'm very excited to see what you guys are doing with Boreas, and I'm excited for everything you guys have coming. Campaign 4, Mighty Nine, Vox Machina down the road. You guys just pump out an insane amount of fantastic content.
Thank you. Well, there's 8 of us, and we're all we got a lot of ideas.
I love it. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.